Hey everyone, my name is Prabhas Pokala, and today I'll be talking about a movie called Malmöi, The Secret Mission, a powerful historical drama based on true events in Korea's past. But before we get started, I do want to advise that there will be some spoilers ahead, so please watch at your own discretion. At first glance, you would think Malmöi is just about words. But at the end of the movie, you realize it's about identity, sacrifice, and courage of everyday people. To really appreciate this film, it's important to understand the historical context. From 1910 to 1945, Korea was under Japanese colonial rule. During this period, Japan implemented a series of policies aimed at suppressing Korean culture and assimilating Koreans into the Japanese Empire. This included banning Korean languages from schools, media, and official use. Korean history and culture was also removed from textbooks. Over time, Korean names were replaced with Japanese ones, and even basic cultural expressions were considered an act of defiance. But while Japan controlled the government and the military, it couldn't completely silence the people. The underground movements emerged, and some fought with weapons while others with ideas. And one of the most powerful forms of resistance was preserving the Korean language itself. This brings us to the real group that inspired the movie, the Korean Language Society. Founded in 1921, this group of scholars and teachers made it their mission to collect and preserve Korean words. Their ultimate goal was to compile a Korean dictionary, something that had never been done before, and something that could unify the language fractured by colonization. By the early 1940s, they were working in total secrecy. Every meeting, every note, every interview with the farmer or street vendor to gather dialects and phrases, it all carried huge risk. In 1942, the Japanese authorities discovered their efforts. Dozens of members were arrested and tortured, some even died in prison. Despite this, their work lived on, and decades later, that dictionary was finally completed. Malmöi tells a fictionalized but emotionally accurate version of this story. Now for a quick film overview. The movie was released in January 2019 and was the directorial debut of Om Yuna, who previously wrote the screenplay for a well-known film, A Taxi Driver. What makes Om's direction so impactful here is her ability to blend the historical scale of this movement with the personal journey of one man, someone you'd never expect to become a hero. Looking at the main characters, the heart of the story is Kim Pan-seo, played by Yoo Han-jun. He's not a scholar or a revolutionary. He's an uneducated man struggling to survive, often turning to petty crimes. After trying to steal money for his child's school fees, he runs into one of his old cellmates who offers him a job in the Korean Language Society. At first, he has no interest in their work. He can't even read or write himself, but slowly he's drawn in. He begins to understand the language is more than just words. The other key character is Jun Hwan, portrayed by Yoo Ki-sing, the quiet idealistic leader of the group. He's the opposite of Pan-seo, educated, disciplined, and willing to risk everything for his cause. Together, they represented two different sides of Korea, one lost and searching, and one fighting to stay alive. Now looking at the story itself, as Pan-seo learns to read and write, he also discovers the power of language. He sees how even small words carry the weight of memory, tradition, and identity. He joins the mission fully, gathering people from different areas and in many different ways to help finish the dictionary. One of the most powerful moments is when he writes a letter to his children. It's just a simple letter talking about how he felt, but in the moment it's deeply emotional. It represents how language connects generation and holds a nation together. Throughout this movie, we see the constant danger that these characters are in, but yet they continue to believe that their work matters, and you watching it, you'll believe it too. Now looking at some themes within the film, there's a clear statement in the film about language as resistance. The right to speak your native language, to preserve your culture, to define your own identity, these are rights worth fighting for. And in this way, Malmöi reminded me that all revolutions are loud, and some happen to be in silence, in secret meetings, and whispered word passed from parent to child. Why this film matters. Even though the movie is set in the 1940s, its message is timeless. Around the world, indigenous languages and minorities dialects are disappearing at an alarming rate. Every time a language dies, a culture loses a part of itself. Malawi is a reminder that preserving language is preserving life. It's how communities remember who they are. And more than that, it's a tribute to the people who chose to fight for those memories, even when no one else is watching. And now for my final thoughts. In conclusion, Malumi, The Secret Mission isn't just a great historical drama. It's an emotional, educational, and deeply humane story. Whether or not you know anything about Korea's history, this film will help you feel it. That's what makes it so powerful. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this inspired you to watch the movie or to think about the hidden stories behind the words you use every day.